You're listening to She's the Business podcast.
Okay, today on the podcast, we are talking all about why you shouldn't look at your competitors when you set your pricing. Now, if you've just done a big what are you talking about? That is the first place I look when I go to set my pricing. Then this episode is created just for you because, in my opinion, looking at your competitors is probably one of the worst places that you should be looking when you go to set your pricing. And you're going to find out exactly why this isn't doing you any good, why this is holding you back in your business when you listen into what I'm talking about today. So stay tuned because it's a great one coming right up.
Hi, I'm your host, Jessica Osborne, and in my 23 years of business and marketing, I've built many brands to become multi-billion-dollar companies. And just in the last 10 years, I've built 2 online businesses of my own from my dining room table with 2 little babies running around at my feet. I've made it my mission to inspire you to get out of your own way and become the successful business owner who's living the lifestyle you really desire without all the hustle. This is She's the Business podcast, made by women for women. This is your weekly dose of motivation and inspiration.
Hey everyone, I thought I would join you today for a really quick tip episode all about why you shouldn't look at your competitors when you are doing your pricing strategy or setting your prices for your services. Now, of course, we talk a lot about staying in your own lane and not worrying about what competitors are doing, but there's really 3 reasons I wanted to go a bit deeper into this and talk about the 3 really main reasons why I recommend not looking at your competitors when you are going to set your pricing. The first one is if you do that, you're letting the market set your rates. So you're giving away control of what your pricing is and what you're charging, and ultimately the outcomes that you are building for your business to the market. Now, the market is different. They're not your company. It's not your business. And if you've done your pricing strategy right, then you would have looked at how much time you have available, your capacity, what your revenue goals are, and be looking at how you're packaging and pricing your services so that you're meeting those goals, rather than just putting something out there with a price on it and hoping that you sell enough to meet the goals. Usually when that happens, I find that there's a big disconnect between what you're currently earning and what you want to be earning because you haven't structured the pricing to meet the revenue goals. So that's the first reason. We really don't want to be letting the market dictate our rates. And a great example of this, so think about Steve Jobs and Apple when they relaunched Apple. So Apple were big ages ago, then they kind of crashed and burned for a little while. And when they were coming back, they were coming back into the market. And Steve Jobs could have looked at, HP or Dell, the other big players in the market, and priced their products at the same level as theirs. But they didn't. Completely intentionally, they didn't. And you only have to look at the results of what they achieved to see that actually creating price differentiation between the competitors was by far and large the best thing that they could have done. I'll talk about Steve a bit more in a moment. So the second reason why you don't want to compare is that, price comparison, it leads to discounting. So what I mean by that is, when you're pricing your services against your competitors' services, often you're making them a bit of like for like. You might even be structuring them the same. Maybe you're using them as a basis of how you're even designing your service packages. And what that does is you're commoditizing what you're doing. So you're making it a price comparative situation where a potential prospect could look at you and look at somebody else and basically compare you like your apples. Do I want this apple or do I want that apple? And of course that means that, it will come down to a price-based decision. And the only person that loses in that sense is you and your competitor, to be honest. The one who wins in the price comparison-based decision is the customer, because they look at 2 offers, as long as they seem like they're offering the same value and the same outcomes, they're going to be looking at price. So the more similar you are to your competitors, the only way then where to go from there is to use discounting. And again, that leaves you in a weaker position. You don't want to be using discounting in order to win clients. That means that you've really not built in a great strategy in terms of, what it is, what that value that you're offering, so that somebody's looking at the value instead of looking at the price. So think about, instead of apples and apples, that you might be comparing apples and strawberries. Now, not many people would be comparing them based on price. They'd be thinking, well, I really want the strawberries, or no, I'm going to go with apples today. They're not comparing them to see, which one is the best value with weight and cost. That's just not happening. They're thinking about, what do I really want? Do I want an apple or do I want strawberries? And they're going to buy what they want. So they're making much more of a value-based decision. Whereas when you're comparing apples and apples, you might be looking at the price of a Granny Smith versus a Royal Gala and thinking, okay, well, I will take the Granny Smiths because they're a whole $1 cheaper per kilo. You make those decisions so much more when you're looking at things that are similar. Now, the third reason is, which I'm going to come back to the Steve Jobs example, you don't all have the same ideal customer. And this is probably the number one reason why not to base your service pricing and packaging off your competitors. They should be creating their services and packages for their ideal customer to align with what it is, what the outcome is that their ideal customer really wants, how they're delivering that for them, and pricing it to actually be in line with the ideal customer as well. Likewise, so should you. So if you're pricing your services based off what your competitors are doing, you're pricing for their ideal customers, not for your ideal customers. You really need to look at your pricing strategy and price them for your ideal customers so that your offering is aligned. You will not have exact same value that you have. You will not have the same way of working. You'll probably not even have the same outcome, quality. All of those things will be different. So your pricing should never be based on what your competitors are doing, because you guys are different. And when we look at Steve Jobs and Apple computers, so when they came back in the market, of course, they priced higher than the others, but that wasn't the only thing that they did different. They were very specific about who it was that their Apple computers were for. They were for designers. They said these are premium products. They've been specially made for designers, for graphic designers. And so they carved out a space of the market for themselves by niching down, by being really clear about who their offer was for. They didn't want the rest of the market. They actually wanted to have a very niche corner of the market, and they made their prices a premium. And guess what? People paid them because they were like, well, they say that their one is for designers, but the others aren't saying that. So these must be the best computers for designers. Therefore, I'm willing to invest more and pay for it because I want the quality. I want the outcome. They wanted what it was that they're offering. Now, of course, they know products are a little bit different to when you're offering services, but the same principles apply. When you can be really specific about who your service is for and the outcome and the value, and make them see that value, as opposed to a generalized product or service where you're just a commodity and being compared on price. You can have higher prices, you can command higher prices, and the value and the sale is there because people want what it is that you're offering. And not just any people, the specific ones that you've designed this for, because that's what it's all about. We don't need to sell to every single business out there in the market. We don't need to sell to everyone. We actually need to sell to the ones who we are best suited to serve, where we can serve at that highest level and get them the results that they're after. So that's it, really. They're my 3 quick tips today on pricing. I hope that that's given you something to think about, really. How are you approaching your pricing? Are you creating differentiation through your pricing, through your targeting, and, the value that you're offering? Because in most senses, you're offering a service, you are different. You're different to everybody else who's offering that. You should be able to be setting yourself apart from other people and certainly rising above that price competitive market. If you're in a market where people are very price competitive, this is the number one way to get out of it. So if you are interested in learning more about this, I've actually got an online pricing masterclass that you could grab today, do it yourself online, you can type in jessicaosborne.com/pricing, and it's there on my website. I will link it up on my Insta bio straight after this, so you can grab it there as well. It's on my website under online courses. So the Pricing with Poise Masterclass, I give you my 3 pricing strategy lessons straight out of Business Jam, my signature program where we go into everything, not just pricing, but your whole marketing strategy. And after that, there's a workshop that you can watch as well, where I deep dive into the psychology around it and a lot of these challenges and barriers that you might have that's holding you back from, really being able to command your worth, to price your services appropriately. Some of my clients who've been through this, they have made a massive step change in their pricing because A, they stopped looking at competitors, but B, they really nailed down what it was, what's that value that they're providing, what's the outcome, and creating differentiation of themselves and how they're pricing and what they're doing with their services when they're putting them out there to the market. So I talk about lots of factors of your pricing strategy, how to create demand for your products, and even how to use packaging and how you're pricing it to create demand for what you really want to sell, because you might have multiple offers, but we all know in our business that there'll be certain offers that will be more beneficial to us to have more clients in than other ones. We've got a finite number of hours in the day, so you want to be maximizing your revenue. And that's all in this pricing workshop. So you can grab it today on my website. It's an online workshop. You could have it done before you go to bed tonight, which would be awesome. So if you are interested, jessicaosborne.com/pricing, and you can grab that online workshop today. Let me know how you get on. I'm really keen to hear about it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here. See you.
If you aren't currently attracting the type of clients or work that inspires you, marketing is feeling really hard, and you're still miles away from your income goals, then it's a clear sign your strategy is out of alignment, or maybe there are parts missing altogether. So let's change all that. This month, I'm hosting a live free training called Master Your Marketing, starting on the 23rd of May. And if you come and join me for it, you'll discover how to easily attract the quality clients you really want every month, so that you can smash your income goals and do that within school hours, which is about 20 hours a week. And you'll finally be able to have that flexible lifestyle that you really, really want for your family. Now, I know from my years of experience that marketing can seem really complicated and there's so many different pieces, but we're going to simplify this right down, because for a successful strategy, you really just need 3 key elements aligned. And those are having the right clients, selling them profitable services that they really want, and having a marketing and sales flow that takes them from being strangers to customers in a series of really short or simple steps. Now, we can do all of this without undercharging, giving away services for free, without wasting all your time scouring your socials for leads, sending cold DMs, doing that icky cold pitch that nobody likes doing and nobody likes receiving. So why do people even do that? I don't know. And without wasting money on ads or building complicated funnels. This is all about making marketing simple, and I'm sharing it with you over 3 days. So there's a 3-day series starting May 23. I've got it spread out over the week. So we'll have a day's rest in between, a day to recalibrate, maybe catch up on the replay, ask some questions, even have a think about what we've done on the day before. So it's going to be heaps of fun. They're going to be short sessions. You'll join me online, and that's really it. So if you come to jessicaosborne.com/masteryourmarketing, you can pop your name down on the list right now, save your spot, get access to the live sessions, get access to all the replays, and get access to me in our pop-up Facebook group, so you can jump in there and ask questions and have some extra chat and extra time in between the lines. So I highly recommend it. If you've been finding marketing hard, then let's make it simple. Let's get you to where you want to be by the end of 2022. So again, this is May 23, Master Your Marketing. Go to jessicaosborne.com/masteryourmarketing and come and join me live. It's going to be heaps of fun. totally free. So there's really no reason not to do it, except if you don't have a problem with marketing. If you're already getting all the right clients and everything's rosy, then hey, you probably don't need this training. But if you would like better quality clients more consistently and to have a much easier, more effortless time attracting them, then this is the training that you need to be attending. So I hope to see you there. Let's get into it.